Welcome to Flick Favorites. I'm going to explain a French drama, mystery, sci-fi, thriller film from 2018, titled A Breath Away. In my opinion, this movie starts with an exciting and unusual accident and good acting. Spoilers ahead. Enjoy the content. Anna is the next person we switch to as she completes her online course. When Matthew finally approaches her, he informs her that he didn't travel to Marseille for an interview but rather to Canada, where Sarah can be accommodated due to the discovery of a new therapy. Anna is dubious because their doctor never mentioned it to her, but Matthew explains that it's novel and hasn't been published yet. Sarah is on a video call with some pals who share the same condition as her. Matthew wants Anna to give it some thought. The television is playing vital news as Sarah continues to converse with her friends. Sweden and Denmark have been cut off by an earthquake of a magnitude never before experienced. In addition, an earthquake strikes Paris at the same time that Matthew hears this while in the bathtub. As soon as the electricity is lost, Sarah's capsule switches to battery mode. She calls her father, who is hurriedly getting ready, and inquires as to what is going on. He continues down the street and eventually discovers the issue. A deadly mist is erupting from the ground and murdering anyone who breathes it. Matthew begins running back to his family because it is enlarging and engulfing the city. He discovers Anna by the window when he gets inside and quickly drags her away while warning her not to breathe in the mist. Matthew and Anna hurry upstairs until they reach the top apartment, where an elderly couple named Lucien and Colette reside, as the mist climbs higher inside the building. As soon as Lucien opens the door for them, Matthew rushes to the window to check on the fog, which has halted at the roofline. After that, Anna uses the walkie-talkie to call Sarah. Sarah explains to them that although the fog has entered her chamber, the capsule has protected her. Both pairs then step outside to the balcony to observe the city, which is now entirely obscured by the mist, with only the rooftops remaining visible. When Colette becomes frightened, her husband reassures her that their boy is okay and leads her back inside. Matthew and Anna notice two aircraft flying by and ponder whether the fog is toxic and where it came from. Before the fog destroys them, they decide to go back inside as well. Lucien looks through his closet for an old radio and carries it over to the table. Matthew goes outside to the hallway to inspect the fog. He places his hand there but nothing occurs. He then sniffs his fingers but detects nothing. Because the radio is broken, he chooses to return inside, where Anna is fixing it. Despite Anna's warning that Matthew wouldn't be able to hold his breath for very long, Matthew still wishes to go check on Sarah. Then, Matthew gets a thought. He recalls Mr. Belkacem and his oxygen canister. Matthew opens the window, asks Lucien for a hammer and torch, gets some tape from a drawer, and then climbs out into the fog. He uses the hammer to smash the window at Mr. Belkacem's, enters, and then begins to peer around with the flashlight. He first discovers Mr. Belkacem's body on the floor, and thankfully his search is soon over when he discovers the oxygen tank a short while later. He places the mask on, tapes over the holes, and when his wife calls, he peeks out the window to reassure her that he is okay. He hears noises coming from another room as he grabs a bag to place the tank in and carry it on his back. When he opens it, a puppy runs out, and Matthew sees the corpse of the dog parent inside. Sarah is terrified, so he leaves the apartment and proceeds to see her. Before replacing the battery in the capsule, Matthew leaves her food, a flashlight, and some batteries for the walkie-talkie. After finishing, he informs Sarah that help will arrive shortly, but that she must continue to preserve the food. He promises to return shortly before leaving. He chooses to go outside rather than up and discovers corpses all over the streets there. When he hears a whistle and turns to see where it is coming from, he is surprised to see some soldiers leading a group of survivors who are all wearing masks. He is in the middle of removing the batteries from different cars when he hears the whistle. The soldier answers his question by explaining that they are transporting the passengers to Montmartre, which is located on a slope and is therefore not covered in fog. Additionally, he claims that they are unaware of its origin and range. The soldier offers to take Matthew with him after giving him one of his masks, but Matthew declines and explains his family's predicament while requesting one more mask. Before departing, the soldier hands it to him. Through the walkie-talkies, Sarah and Anna converse in the interim. When Matthew shows up, he explains what he discovered and lets everyone know they must pass the night there as the elders approach. Anna is asked if she would like to visit Sarah, but she declines, saying that she would rather save the air for an emergency. Matthew sees the fog is getting worse as he returns to the hallway to check on it. To maintain track of the time, he makes a mark on the wall. As the elders leave for night, he returns inside, and after Anna asks, he tells her about the mist going up. They understood that services wouldn't resume anytime soon and that things would continue to deteriorate. Anna is unable to fall asleep while Matthew can. She takes the opportunity to replace the capsule's battery before leaving and ultimately chooses to visit Sarah while she is sleeping. When Anna is eventually able to fix the radio using the tools she brought from home, he discovers that all the channels are broadcasting the same emergency recording repeatedly. As soon as they hear an explosion outside, Matthew and Anna rush outside to the top to investigate. They discover that Montmartre is on fire and that riots have broken out. Anna advises them to stay at Charlotte's because they reside on a hill and Sarah could share her friend's capsule once they get back to the apartment. Sarah should not exit her capsule, according to Lucien, but Matthew argues that they can move her using specialized gear as long as they are in a lab outside of Paris. Since Anna has been there before and claims that it is simple to get lost there, Matthew chooses to accompany her in order to keep her safe. First, they call Sarah to inform her of their plans and to let her know that they left Lucien with the walkie-talkie in case she needed it. Sarah requests that they visit No, who resides nearby. Matthew and Anna leave the house shortly after and arrive at Noah's building swiftly. However, they are unable to enter because an enraged canine appears and begins pursuing them. After some blocks of running away while avoiding cars, they unintentionally become separated. At first, Anna succeeds in hiding behind a vehicle, but when she unintentionally makes a noise, the dog locates her once more and starts chasing after her. Anna seizes the opportunity to flee through a window and sprints to the bridge to search for Matthew. However, he is nowhere to be found, so she returns to the streets. It turns out that Matthew has swum to a set of steps so he can exit the river. Matthew changes into a dry jacket he's taken from a random corpse while Anna examines the city map. He also observes a hazmat outfit inside a van that has crashed. Returning to Anna, she has at last arrived at the facility and is about to enter when she sees Matthew running in her direction. They check on one another before entering. Through the walkie-talkie, Sarah and Lucien are playing a game of bridge, and Lucien is lying. Matthew and Anna discover more corpses and a small fire in one of the lab's rooms, but they continue exploring until they come across a suitcase containing the necessary suit. They pass the burning chamber again on the way out, but this time it explodes, throwing them up against the wall. They manage to escape, but Matthew is on fire. Anna looks for an extinguisher and puts it off. She notices that he is having difficulty breathing. They quickly identify the problem: the explosion damaged his oxygen tank's oxygen tube. They move upstairs in search of a room where the fog hasn't yet encroached, and Matthew pulls off his mask while Anna begins to share her own oxygen with him. When they arrive at one, Matthew is found to have a bad burn on the side of his body. Anna looks for a first aid box while he takes off his jacket and treats the burn with water. As soon as she discovers it, she brings it to Matthew and carefully bandages the wound while making fun of his tattoo. When it's time to leave, they discover there isn't enough air in the tank for both of them. Matthew advises Anna to accept it and that he will find a solution on his own, possibly by using the rooftops. Anna initially objects, but Matthew explains that Sarah needs her and that he believes her daughter will eventually locate some oxygen with the aid of the suit. Before separating, the couple exchanges a passionate kiss. Matthew navigates the rooftops as Anna sprints through the streets carrying the suitcase. Anna must remove the mask before entering the structure because her oxygen tank is getting low. She is able to retain her breath long enough to get back to Lucien's house, where she finds that the suitcase and its contents have been harmed by the explosion. In the meantime, Matthew discovers some supplies and a rope on one of the roofs. He climbs the rope to get to the roof of a parking lot after giving it a test pull. There, he discovers more bags filled with supplies and a blood trail leading to the corpse of a police officer. The moment he steps inside, he discovers a small camp with an oxygen canister and a gun. When he is about to leave, another policeman arrives and tells him the fog is getting worse by the hour and orders him to take off his mask. He then takes the tank for himself. The policeman pulls his gun to murder him, just like he did with the previous man, but Matthew puts on the mask and pushes him off the edge of the platform. The officer attempts to get off Matthew so he can reach his gun, but Matthew grabs him from behind and holds him there long enough for the fog to take effect on him. Back in the flat, Sarah and Anna are talking on the walkie-talkies once more. Sarah expresses her belief that life cannot simply stop here and inquires about whether there is life after death. When Anna's phone notifies her that the capsule's battery is getting low, their conversation is cut short. After a brief glimpse of Matthew sprinting through the streets, Anna rushes out of the apartment and into the capsule room. After another brief conversation with Sarah, we see Anna getting ready to replace the capsule's battery, which is risky but necessary because there are only 10 minutes left. While Anna focuses on replacing the battery and getting the capsule operating once more before leaving, Sarah sees that her mother isn't wearing a mask and becomes concerned. Shortly after Sarah informs Matthew what happened, Matthew shows up. He immediately climbs the stairs only to discover that his wife was unable to make it. As he returns to the apartment, Sarah overhears him wail in pain and calls him on the walkie-talkie. He takes the call to the balcony to give her the bad news in private. The grown-ups are relaxing in the apartment some time later when another earthquake shakes Paris. When the fog eventually reaches their floor, Matthew goes to the balcony to confirm that they must leave. He plans to go get the hazmat suit he saw in the van to fix Sarah's. He also wants to bring oxygen for Lucien and his wife, but Lucien declines. He and his wife led happy lives and don't want to live without their son any longer, so they'll remain where they are and let the clouds carry them away. Sarah ignores him until he says that he is leaving, after which he leaves the area and checks on her. Sarah becomes upset because she fears he'll become like her mother, but he explains that this is the only choice and assures her that he'll return. The elderly couple returns to their apartment and lies down on the bed while holding hands and telling one another that they are content with the life they have shared. Then, as the mist enters their room, they shut their eyes. Matthew has no difficulty locating the van that contains the suit outside. He begins running back after getting it, and while doing so, he comes across a scooter with the keys still in it. He decides to ride it. But just as he approaches his building, a kid appears in front of him out of nowhere, so Matthew quickly turns to avoid him and crashes. Sarah freezes as a mysterious person enters her room while she is attempting in vain to call him on the walkie-talkie inside the capsule. As Matthew slowly regains consciousness, he sees that his head has sustained a sizable wound. He reaches for the suit and the walkie-talkie, limps back to the building, and tries to call his daughter. He can only manage a few steps before he must stop and lay down on the ground due to the excruciating pain, but he forces himself to stand up when he notices Sarah and No coming in two shadows. For the first time since she was born, Matthew is able to embrace his daughter when Sarah rushes to him. Sarah explains that the mist doesn't affect children, so No came to pick her up. Matthew is so ecstatic that he briefly removes his mask to kiss Sarah's scalp while hugging her once more. She is now free, he informs her. One last time, when the dream is cut to, Sarah is seen running on a field alongside No and her other companions. Then Matthew awakens, letting us know that time has passed and things have changed. Matthew is now the one who waits inside the capsule while Sarah is outside taking care of him and using the walkie-talkie to communicate. The two now play opposite positions. I really like the movie, it has a good story and a great ending. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. Your support would be appreciated. I hope to see you next time.